This is Jose from Florida Hood Vlogs. We're here in Ave Maria, Florida, which is right across from Immokalee. And today we're gonna head to Hialeah. Why are we heading to Hialeah when you guys have been requesting Bradenton a lot more than Hialeah? Well, I keep hearing that from a lot of people, that people think Hialeah is dangerous. I'm gonna show you guys it's a perfectly nice town and that you're just totally wrong. I just have to do it. So let's head to Hialeah. Alright guys, so we're heading to Hialeah. Right there. 2, 3, there's 3 alligators right here. He's big too. He's about 8.5 feet. Another one right there. So 1, 2, 3. There's 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 alligators right here, guys. Isn't that crazy? There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bro, charger cable almost caught fire. Good thing, I mean, I'm over here driving, I look over there and there's like smoke coming out of the dash. We're finally here in the daytime and it's raining, so I'm gonna try this side window thing just to keep the rain off the lenses. Hialeah, baby on board. Very nice, beautiful little homes. The real estate here is mind-boggling. Like, these little houses could be worth 400,000, like, or something like ridiculous. This guy's collecting cardboard because there's a port here. There's still a lot of cardboard collection, and then it's kind of like recycling, and they pay you by the ton. I think it's like 70 to 120 a ton. It gets up to about 220 a ton, and then it really gets popular because at 220 a ton, you can really do good on the money. I mean, like, he'll get like $120 for a truckload. When the prices are better. I don't know right now what the cardboard price, the metal prices are down right now. Well, anyways, housing here in Hialeah is ridiculously expensive. Like, a little house like this could easily run you into the 300,000s. You guys have asked me about, you know, we're talking about how people think Hialeah is dangerous, and I'm just telling you guys, look, it might look hood, but it's not hood. Hialeah has the lowest murder rate of any city in the United States its size, comparable only to like a lot of elderly residents too. They do have a lot of retired people. Hialeah has, let me park over here because this car is following us. This is a nice house. Like, I bet you that house will probably run you $500,000. Easily run you $500,000 here. You see the metal railings, they have it around their porch, they have it around the windows. A lot of times people assume because people have metal bars on the windows that it means that there's a lot of crime in the neighborhood. And in the case of Hialeah, the only type of crime that there exists here on a real considerable, you know, like concern yourself type of level is property, which means, how do I even explain this to you guys? It's really a cultural thing. It's not like people actually need to have that much security. They just feel that because they're coming from, like, that's a nice little house. Like, the housing here is really nice, you know, like, sometimes people feel because they come from Cuba, like Hialeah is mostly Cubans. Look at the side of that house. That's got to be at least $700,000. That's a big house. Hialeah is 94% Hispanic, and there are some Americans. There's like a 3 or 4% are Americans, and I think about 20% of the population are Cuban Americans. A good percentage are, you know, they're descendants of Cubans that were born here, and then you have like a small percentage of Americans, who, by the way, you cannot talk bad to them about Hialeah, because this is their home, this is their town. Well, I'm just trying to find the right words to explain this. See these aluminum fences? That's a Miami thing. Okay, the murder rate in Hialeah is the lowest murder rate of any city its size. And the crime rate here is not high at all, statistically speaking. So if somebody tells you, oh, it looks ghetto because there's fences and metal bars on the windows, that doesn't make a place dangerous.
Let me say something.
What do you want to say, baby?
I've walked the streets here around at 3 in the morning and no problem. No problems.
Like, you could literally walk around here at 3 in the morning and it's like legitimately safe. Yeah. The reason all of my Miami videos at night are in Hialeah is because once it gets dark, I come here because I feel safe here. Do not be afraid of Hialeah, guys. Statistically speaking, the crime rate here is lower than many places. Like places that people, like St. Petersburg. People go to St. Petersburg. People vacation in St. Petersburg, Florida, on a massive scale, and their crime rates are ridiculously scary. Yet, Hialeah, as a tourist spot, is completely overlooked simply because it's Hispanic. And even Hispanics ourselves have a prejudice for this place that's unfounded. Like I mentioned earlier, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, he's a fat comedian, Latino comedian. He made some jokes kind of alluding to the fact that Hialeah is scary. He's like, I clicked my window, I clicked the door locked because it's Hialeah, you know, it looks scary. It's like, he said it's the East Los Angeles of Miami. And demographically it is. I mean, it's all Latinos from a demographic point of view. But dude, these are $400,000 houses. You are not gonna live here in a $400,000 house if you are legitimately like not having one incredible salary or 3 or 4 people in a house with decent salary. You're just not gonna make it here, you know. These are $400,000 houses, people. Like, and all of the areas of Hialeah that are duplexes and apartments are elderly people or like working class people. So the parts that look like projects, like where there's really high density, one of the bad things about Hialeah is how high their population density is here. And by the way, an F-350 is like, if you live in Hialeah and you have an F-350 dually, we're getting followed by this car. Let me just, might be a cop. Might be a cop. Let me just park out of the way. Oh look, like here, look, that's a 56 Chevy. Let me just get out of the way here. This dude's got a 56 Chevy. This dude's got a 56 Chevy Bel Air. Dude, that is a legit classic American car. Like, there are literally retired American people who want to have that car and cannot have it. That's like a $50,000 car, y'all. Like, You know, like the one we saw on the other side of Miami it was rusted out, and the guy wanted what, $13,000 for it?
Yeah.
That's a Saint in their front yard. It's a very common thing here in Hialeah. You'll see Saints in front of people's houses. Sometimes they're huge, like bigger than a human. Like they're huge. That's like a $40,000 boat. That's a nice boat. Like there is money here, but people hide it really well because as part of our Latino culture, you don't really thought your wealth too much. You don't thought, is that a word? It's not the word. Thought is like I said thought. Okay, let's find another word here. Flaunt your wealth. You don't flaunt your wealth. Okay. Driving here, drivers are aggressive. That's one thing. I think what the only real downsides to Hialeah are the population density. Population density and aggressive drivers are probably the worst things about Hialeah. Centro Medico, there are so much small business here. Small business is the heart of Hialeah. There's a lot of small Latino businesses. In Cuba, you weren't allowed, whatever you wanted to do for a living in Cuba, you weren't allowed to do it. Therefore, when you came to the United States, people that come to the United States, see, look at that, this guy's got 2 dually trucks. So dually trucks are like the thing to have here, you know? It's like really hip. I don't know, it's like it's the culture. These are real high density here. These look like little projects. These are probably rental units here. And the rents are outrageous. That's the other thing about Hialeah. Renting here in Hialeah is outrageous. But low crime, guys, honestly. It may look, here's another, it's a tow truck. There's a lot of tow trucks here in Hialeah. And they're really active. They stay pretty busy. A lot of times people finance cars. Like having the thing about like Cuban people is we try to live way outside our means. Like American people will not buy a car if they can't afford it. Cuban people are like, I bought a new Chevy, man, and then they just buy it, you know? And then you end up with your car getting repoed. So sometimes people here are like overburdened with debt. Like look at this house here. Like let's just take this house for a second. 2 new SUVs, a boat, and a classic car, and a house is worth $400,000. Dude, there's like $500,000 right there, y'all. I mean, the net worth of people here, I don't know what their debt ratio of it is, but at least like your house, cars, whatever, the average house here is like $500,000, and then add another $100,000 in cars, and that's Hialeah for you. Lots of cars. Like I said, the population density is really high because not everybody can afford the high cost of housing. So a lot of times you end up with really high population density, and even single there's a piece of plywood on the window. It's like the first trashy house I've seen so far. Nice houses. They look nice. No, they're older houses. It's not a brand new city. Look at these houses right here. These are like nice little houses.
Every house is so cool.
Look at how nice these houses are right here. These are cute little houses. These are nice neighborhoods. Like, it just angers me like a lot. It angers me that people have this notion that Hialeah's ghetto and trashy. It's gone a long way, and it's gonna keep getting better. They have a boat here too. Look, they got 5 cars, a boat, and a pretty nice little house. You know, there's a lot of money here. It's not all, and Latinos that have money is the other thing. Latinos that don't have money try to live way out of their means, and then the ones that do have money live very, very like simple lives. Like they don't really, like some Latinos will have a lot of money and you will not tell at all. It's hard to notice when they do have money. They hide it really well. because I know I have a lot of family here and I have a lot of friends here, and a lot of my friends here, I know they make really well. Like, they own businesses and they own real estate and they own a lot of stuff and they're really well off, and they live really cookie cutter lifestyles. They live like really cookie cutter lifestyles, you know, like you would never tell they're wealthy. So you have poor people trying to look like they're wealthy by, you know, buying expensive cars and stuff like that, you know, and then you got people who have the money and they'll drive like regular cars, you know, they'll drive like a regular car, you know, like they'll have good stuff, but like there's no exterior sign of wealth. So it's a complicated place. There's a lot more money here than meets the eye, because a lot of people that do have money are really low-key. Here's another Ford F-350. And like I said, that's the thing to have here, you know. If you got a dually, man, then you're kind of like balling, you know. All you got to do is look at to really know, because there's a lot of elderly people. So with the elderly people, a lot of them are in fixed incomes, and they're not like elderly people in Naples where they created a huge flow of income for their age. These people came from, Cubans started coming here like in the 60s, you know. Cubans haven't been here 100 years. Cubans started to come here in the 60s, so that's not a lot of time for people to amount massive amounts of wealth. But what they did do in Cuba, you own your house usually. So if you have any sense to you, what a lot of the Cuban people did is they owned their house outright. They didn't like the notion of paying rent, and that's why the rents here are so ridiculously high, because it's just embedded in our culture, I guess. There's another F-350 right here. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like part of the city's culture. People like big trucks. Nice houses, guys, beautiful houses. All you gotta do is look at the real estate out here. So like, there's a lot of statistics that will fool you, like the low income on paper. It looks like there's a lot of low income. It's because there's a lot of elderly people, and I think in Miami, cash money moves in Miami more than debit cards, you know. There's a lot of Cubans and a lot of Haitians, and money just moves cash here. So when you look at it on paper, it looks like Miami 3 or 4 years ago. On paper, Miami was the poor out of all the big cities in the United States. Look at that boat, dude. That is a nice boat. This house looks like crap. That's a trashy looking house. When you look, Miami on paper was the poorest city in the United States until like 3 years ago, when they figured out how to do money laundering. There's a saying that says the city that was built on drug money, and to an extent that's very true. Like, I came here with my white friend one time, and everywhere we went, people were like, yo, what, you guys from out of town, what's up, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of cash money moving, a lot of it legal, a lot of it illegal. And there are, to be fair with you guys, there are gangsters here, and there are organized crime rings in the city. Very complex organized crime rings, but they're not like breaking into your house. That's not the type of crime they're involved in. They're involved in money laundering, they're involved in lottery rackets, they're involved in credit card fraud, Medicaid fraud. They're much more elaborate. All right, guys, we are in Hialeah, Florida. This is 103rd, which is one of the main business centers here in town. Got some really elaborate murals here, so let's take a look at the library. Very nice murals. Beautiful murals here. Okay, looks like we got a Spanish mural. Hey, look, Luis Miguel Rodriguez. Luis Miguel Rodriguez. My dad is Luis Manuel Rodriguez, so maybe this is my dad's brother from another mother. This is the Spaniards. You can tell. I think it's the Spaniards, right? I don't know. Maybe they're not Spaniards. I don't know. We got some beautiful, beautiful murals here by the library. Mírate en medio a hacer. This is Hialeah, the misunderstood city. The city that people are afraid of because they think has a high crime rate. The assumption based off the fact that its population is Hispanic. However, I'm going to give you guys a real insight on Hialeah and explain to you guys a little something about my Cuban people. We are not dangerous, and you are not to fear us. Do not be afraid of Hialeah. More big murals. The entire library is covered in murals. Just absolutely spectacular. And I know a lot of times people say, Jose, you kind of get redundant sometimes with the emphasis on some of these subjects, but all I want to do is educate people. You know, like, how on earth a city that has the lowest murder rate, of any city its size in the country, probably any city in the country with any population its size, yeah, really, and a city that has a really low murder rate, really low crime rate, and people automatically assume that just because the residents are Latinos that it's bad, and it's not right. So I just want to create awareness and help people not be so prejudiced. Let me explain to you guys the significance of this mural. That is one of Cuba's heroes, and there may be some symbolic. The artist is Carlos. Sorry, I can't understand your name, buddy. That's a Cuban hero, and I think what they're doing is there's a crack on the wall and they're just putting tape up to fix it. So I think the symbolic meaning of this mural is that the Cuban society, referring to Cuba, is falling apart, and instead of giving the people a real solution to their problems, they're just patching it with tape, which is obviously a temporary solution to a structural problem that's bigger. So beautiful concept behind this mural, very elaborate how it's put together. This is a different type of mural. Not sure what's going on here, but this is the library here in Hialeah. So I'm just a little, I hope that this video gets a lot of views. I really hope this video gets a lot of views, because I think the city of Hialeah deserves more respect than what's being given to it. It's being treated like it's some low-class Latino ghetto, like it has a crime rate and the people are horrible and dangerous, when in reality what this city has accomplished with its crime rate is something that no other city in the United States has been able to accomplish, which is to almost eliminate murder, which is the absolute most horrendous thing. And what a lot of American cities are struggling with is their high murder rates. Baltimore, so many cities in the United States, St. Louis, Detroit, have huge murder rates and they can't control it. It's out of control, guys. Hialeah has really accomplished what a lot of other American cities haven't been able to accomplish with crime. And I think that a lot of people tell me, well, I watch the news in Hialeah and there's shootings daily. Well, no crap, dude. There's 200,000 people. And I think the news in Hialeah is contributing to the misunderstanding. More murals, guys. I mean, the amount of murals here is just incredible. Here's a face you might recognize. Lots of murals. Don Quixote de la Mancha. So this is some Spanish literature references here. Lots of amazing murals. They've done a really good job with the murals here. Just an amazing job with the murals. Hola. Good. Here there's a little bit of everything. I see some Egyptian. Is that Benjamin Franklin, I guess? I don't know. Just encompasses a lot of different stuff here. They have an old school, check this out, guys. They have an old school phone booth with books in it. That's neat. The neatest library that I've seen so far. They've done a really español because está hablando en inglés.
No.
Siri is talking in English, and I need her to talking in Spanish for me.
Jose.
Setting, por favor, Katie, please. Is this it? This is it? This is it?
No. Go.
No?
Keep going.
Left, right, ¿qué? No entiendo nada. Siri está hablando en inglés, so yo no la entiendo. Why is Siri talking in English? Put her in Spanish. Go to settings.
No.
No entiendo, ¿qué? What? Alright, guys, so now we're in Hialeah. No longer in Miami Springs, and Hialeah is a big city. Lots of stuff going on here. It's the 6th largest city in Florida. The 5th or 6th largest city in Florida, so it's a big city. Like I can't drive, record a YouTube video, and look at a map at the same time. It's not possible. Am I talking in English? Tú no ves que yo estoy manejando, chico. Tú no ves que yo estoy manejando. Y you pissing me off. Pissing me off. Pissing me off.
Turn on Palm.
¿Qué?
Turn left on Palm.
Español, please. Please speak Spanish.
Moron.
¿Qué?
Moron.
Morro. No, no. Left. Turn right. You want me to turn right. Okay, what do I do now? There's a restaurant in here? This does not seem like there's a restaurant here. It's like...
Turn left on 8th.
This is safe, right?
Yeah.
Left. Dude, there's a restaurant here? This seems like an alleyway or something. Bro. There's no restaurant here.
There is.
Where? It seems like a parking lot.
On the corner.
Okay, on the left or the right corner?
It's gonna be the right.
On the right corner, alright. It just looks like Hialeah. It doesn't look like... Oh, here we go. Wow, dude, I can't believe there's a restaurant just like in the middle of all this. Well, this is the local suggestion, so it can't be wrong. Park right. Is that a disabled parking? No, it's not. Only restaurants. Yes, only restaurants. Alright, guys. So this unassuming little restaurant is, according to my uncle who lives here, the best place to eat. So we're gonna check it out. It's very unassuming. Doesn't really look like all that, and it's actually not even in a centric place. It's kind of on some residential back streets. So let's see. Se renta un efficiency, man. Check it out. Ooh, man, this looks good. All right. Look at this stuff, yo. Whoa, look at them beans, yuca. I think that's some food. They got shrimp. I don't know what type of meat this is. Oh, look at that. I want that right there. That looks awesome. Yeah, everything looks so good. Un segundito todavía. Look at the steaks. I don't even know where to start. Everything looks so good. Dude, look at these steaks, like churrasco style. I gotta have a steak. I don't even know what to order. Everything looks so good. That's churrasco. They got white rice. They got pork. What do you even order? Everything looks so good. They got fajita meat. Yeah, I think that's oxtail. I don't know what it is, man. So that's lamb. Like lamb churrasco. What do you want on the sides, babe?
The
Congri?
and
Fufu?
fufu.
Uh-huh, what else?
I guess something else?
Yeah. Por acá. Okay, gracias. All right. Good stuff. Ropa vieja, congri, yuca. What do you got, babe?
Lamb.
Lamb. Okay, he's got some lamb.
Fufu,
And fufu.
and yuca.
All right. Show yours. Spin it around. All right, guys. Let's try some of these Cuban pastries. This one's called a señorita. Oh, God.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. All right, everybody. So that's the end of today's trip. As usual, the local recommendation was on point, man. That was some of the best food I've had. And if you're in Hialeah, I definitely recommend you try Murals restaurant, cafeteria, open 7 days a week. And it was like $36. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, that's awesome. The price, the food, awesome. Just really nice restaurant, kind of hidden in a residential area. go through the window.